Learn how to make these easy crochet flowers. First of all, starting with the magic circle, we want to crochet 6 double crochets into the magic circle. These stitches will form your foundation round. These flowers are a great little project to start with if you're new to crochet. They should only take about 5 minutes if you know what you're doing. So they're a really great simple project for beginners to learn without investing too much time. If they go wrong, it's not the end of the world to start again. These flowers can be used in quite a few different ways. They can be stitched onto work as independent flowers, or what I'm going to do is I'm working on a project where I stitch them all together to create a sort of fabric. At the end of your double crochets, pull the tail to close the circle and slip stitch back into the first double crochet to complete round 1. To start round 2, we are going to slip stitch into the next stitch and chain 3. Then we are going to do a cluster stitch. We're going to chain 1 to close the cluster stitch and then chain a further 3 to create the downward side of the petal, which we will slip stitch back into the base of the petal. So all the stitches are going into that same space to create a nice tight petal shape. After completing the first petal, we are going to slip stitch into the next stitch along, and then we can start the second petal. This petal is created in the same way as the first, so again we start with the chain 3 stitches and then we create that cluster stitch. We chain 3 and then we secure it at the base with a slip stitch. Once again, after completing the second petal, we slip stitch into the next stitch along in order to start the third petal. And again, we chain 3 and then we yarn over and create the cluster stitch. And then again, chain 3 back down and slip stitch into the base of that petal to complete it. As we come on to petal 4, it should start to feel a bit more familiar, the pattern, as it is the same for every petal. So you do your chain 3 cluster stitch and then you chain 3 back down and secure it at the base. I think this is a really good project for people learning to crochet, as it's not only quite a short pattern to complete, it does use a couple of different types of stitches. So you've got your chain stitches and your double crochets and the cluster stitch. So it helps with a variety of techniques without being too overwhelming. I've been making these as a variation of the granny square. I didn't want to make a lot of squares, so I thought I would make little flowers to attach to each other instead. I'm looking to somehow attach them to make them into a bag, but I haven't settled on how I'm going to attach them yet. So if you keep an eye out, you may see a later video showing what I've made with them. Well done if you made it this far. That is the final petal, so all that's left is to take your yarn and weave in the ends, and you have your little completed crochet flower. So if you make lots of them, you can attach them to each other and make a sort of fabric or a top or a bag like I'm going to. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, don't forget to like and subscribe to keep up to date with videos. Thanks for watching.